This is an uncomfortable truth that this country has to absorb. That every bullet that kills a Palestinian child, every rocket that destroys an orphanage, every bomb that falls on Palestine is paid for by you as American taxpayers. And you wonder why a lot of people don't like you? I mean, President Obama is a highly intelligent man. Possibly the most intellectual, professorial president that you have ever had. He has to be able to... The last guy had an excuse. He was an imbecile. He couldn't, as they say, chew gum and walk in a straight line at the same time. President Obama has no excuse. He sat at the side of Professor Edward Said. He knows the truth. And it's really not rocket science. You don't have to be Albert Einstein, who stayed at the hotel in which I'm living, to work it out. If missiles, bombs, and bullets that are paid for by you are massacring children in Palestine, well, a lot of people are not going to like you for that. And I speak as one who comes from a country which authored this entire tragedy. I come from the British Parliament in which I've sat for almost 23 years. Every day I pass the room in which Balfour wrote this tragedy. Mr. Balfour, the British Foreign Minister, in a brazen act of brigandage, even by imperial standards, on behalf of one people, promised to a second people the land which belonged to a third people. And the tragedy which has unrolled ever since comes from that original sin. So I speak as one humbled by the need to work harder than anyone else to atone before God for this crime. And if I feel like that about a crime that happened in 1917, how should you feel about the crimes happening right now? And I say to the United States government, whose president I greatly admire and respect, I supported him on my radio shows and my television shows when nobody in Britain knew how to say his name. When Fox News was calling him Barack Osama. And may still be, for all I know. I respect President Obama and admire him very much. But if he doesn't change America's policy towards Palestine, there's no point in closing Guantanamo Bay, because you'll have to open it again. You'll have to open it again, and you'll have to open 100 more Guantanamo Bays, because this Palestinian question is the key, is the heart, is the flaw at the heart of Western policy towards the East. It is the heart of the matter. It's the key reason, not the only, but the key reason why in the Muslim world more than 1 billion people are seething with rage, indignation, anger, and yes, in many cases, even hatred. How could it be otherwise? You know, they're always looking for some Islamic organization to ban or cleric to refuse a visa to, accusing them of radicalizing Muslim youth. The only thing necessary for the radicalization of Muslim youth is possession of a television set and the ability to watch the news. It's the news that radicalizes the Muslims. It's the pictures of what's happening that's radicalizing the Muslims. And we have to face it. there are on the fringes of the Muslim world, of the Muslim community, in my country, maybe also in yours, those who wish to lure the angry Muslims onto the rocks of separatism, extremism, violence, who describe working with others, non-Muslims, as supping with the devil, working with the kuffar, that democracy is a waste of time, that nothing will ever change. These counsels of despair are what led to the atrocities of 9/11 and 7/7 in my own country. But to prove them wrong, we've got to start proving ourselves right, that we can change things through democratic and peaceful action. And that means we have to work better than we've worked so far. People complain about the Zionist lobby and its power. Don't complain, emulate. Make a lobby ourselves, as strong as theirs. We can do it. First of all, most Zionists are not Jews. This is a truth you have to recognize and depart from in this debate. Most of the Zionists are not Jews, and many of the Jews are not Zionists. So this isn't a question of hunting for Jews in positions of influence. That's a trifle in this debate. Most of the Zionists would call themselves Christians. Though, as I always say, Christians believe in the prophets, peace be upon them. That type of Christian believes in the prophets and how to get a piece of them. That's what they're after. Good and clear, the others.